Have you ever wondered what happens when a town built to punish the guilty tries to break a mind that thinks chaos is funny?
We already reacted to one of Nerd Science's videos, which was the Can Batman survive Outlast? We're going to check out, could the Joker survive Silent Hill? This one seems so interesting to me because, Silent Hill being psychological horror kind of in a way I feel like it's kind of up like Joker's alley, and he'd probably just laugh everything off. You know what I mean? So I don't know, like, he
The
definitely
reflection in
could.
the dirty mirror isn't staring back with guilt, it's smiling. In Silent Hill 2, James Sunderland looks into the glass and sees a man broken by his sins. But when the Joker wakes up in that observation deck bathroom, he sees something else entirely, a captive audience. He doesn't
Right.
wipe a hand wearily across his face. He applies grease paint with the precision of a surgeon. The door kicks open, not with hesitation, but with a theatrical flourish. Have you ever wondered what happens when a town built to punish the guilty tries to break a mind that thinks chaos is funny? Today we're running the ultimate psychological experiment. We are dropping the clown prince of crime into the psychological meat grinder of Silent Hill. While a normal human like James Sunderland is paralyzed by the fog, the Joker's physiology operates on a completely different set of rules. Can the
Yeah.
town's supernatural guilt mechanics find a foothold in a psyche that lacks a conscience? Let's step into the fog and find out.
You could say he lacks a conscience, but some would say he's also maybe the most sane and probably is the most conscious. So I don't know. Joker he's an interesting character.
As the Joker strolls down the empty, fog-choked streets of Silent Hill, the first thing you notice is the silence. For you or me, this sensory deprivation triggers immediate anxiety. Your brain, specifically the amygdala, starts scanning for threats. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism. When you can't see, your hearing becomes hypersensitive, and your imagination fills in the gaps with worst-case scenarios. But as the Joker twirls a rusted pipe like a baton, treating the desolate town like a boring opening act, we have to look at his neurology. In a neurotypical brain, the amygdala acts like a smoke detector. It fires off alarm signals: fear, panic, the urge to flee, before you even consciously register a threat. However, based on the Joker's history in the comics and his complete lack of startle reflex, it's highly probable his amygdala is either atrophied or chemically suppressed.
Atrophied.
He doesn't feel the creepiness of the fog because the biological hardware required to feel unease is disconnected. Suddenly, the radio in his pocket crackles with static, the classic Silent Hill warning. A shape stumbles out of the mist. It's a lying figure, a creature trapped in a straitjacket made of its own flesh. It sprays a jet of burning acid across the Joker's purple suit. A normal person would go into immediate shock. The nociceptors in your skin would scream, flooding your system with adrenaline and forcing you to retreat. He looks at the acid burning his skin and laughs at the rude service. This brings us to the science of congenital analgesia, or high-functioning masochism. While the Joker physically takes damage, his psychological interpretation of pain is rewired. The lying figure, designed to represent the suffocating pain of illness, is useless against him. He beats the creature down with the pipe, not out of desperation, but with the casual energy of someone swatting a fly.
Right.
The town tries to escalate. A corpse falls from a noose right in front of him, a classic jump scare designed to spike heart rates. The Joker pauses, critiques the timing as amateurish, and suggests the
It's
road
like,
should have
yeah.
been colorful.
Yeah, I'm already seeing like Joker is easily capable of surviving Silent Hill. Easily capable, because like I said, all those psychological tricks and stuff like that they just don't work on him, and he's just gonna laugh everything off. Like, he's just gonna laugh everything off.
Streamers.
This may be the last
Oh my
ad you
God,
ever see because
please,
of the free
I
ad
hope
block
it
extension
is.
from Capital One Shop.
This is where the experiment gets interesting. The survival probability right now is sitting at a solid 100%. Silent Hill's
Right.
primary weapon is atmospheric psychological warfare, relying on the victim's own anxiety to do the heavy lifting. But because the Joker lacks the baseline anxiety required to fuel the town's projections, the fog is just weather, and the monsters are just props. The town realizes the standard fear tactics are failing. It can't scare him with jump scares or physical pain. To break him, it's going to have to change the rules. The Joker kicks open the heavy steel door to the Woodside Apartments, but the hallway waiting for him doesn't look like the rotting,
Wait, what did that
water-damaged
say?
ruins James. To break him, it's going to have to change the rules.
It's a
The Joker kicks open the heavy steel door
manifesting guilt in a mind without
or to the Woodside Apartments. But the
consciousness.
hallway waiting for him doesn't look like the rotting, water-damaged ruins James Sunderland explored. In Silent Hill, the other world is a mirror, and the Joker's reflection is not made of mold and rust. The walls here are peeling back to reveal industrial steel and bubbling vats of neon green chemical waste. The air doesn't smell like stagnant water, it smells like ozone, bleach, and burning hair. The environment has shifted to reference his origin story, the Red Hood and the chemical bath, but where a normal person sees a tragic accident, the Joker sees his birth canal. He takes a deep breath and sighs happily. He is home. This brings us to the central conflict of our experiment, the guilt paradox. The engine that powers Silent Hill 2 functions on a specific psychological input, remorse. The town acts like a biofeedback machine, scanning the intruder's subconscious for repressed shame, and then 3D printing monsters to punish that specific sin. James Sunderland feels guilty for killing his wife, so the town creates Pyramid Head to judge him. But the Joker fits the clinical criteria for severe antisocial personality disorder. The defining trait of this pathology is profound structural lack of remorse. When the town probes his neural pathways looking for the incident he regrets, it encounters a fatal error. The system glitches because the input signal is missing. As a result, the monsters that manifest in the hallways are distorted and weak. Instead of terrifying executioners, the darkness spawns the victims. These are hundreds of faceless, shambling mannequins stumbling over each other in a pathetic heap. They represent the nameless, countless lives the Joker has extinguished. For a neurotypical human, this would be a crushing psychological weight, a literal army of your sins rising up to drag you to hell. But because the Joker assigns no value to human life, the town cannot make these creatures formidable. They are fragile, they are cheap. The Joker doesn't back away. He treats the horde like a captive audience. He grabs a mannequin by its plastic arm, twirls it into a chaotic waltz, and snaps its neck with a snickering crunch, quipping that the dancer really needs to loosen up. He physically dismantles them, using their limbs as juggling pins. This highlights a critical difference in cognitive processing. Research suggests that while neurotypical brains encode traumatic memories with negative emotional tags like fear or sadness, psychopathic brains often encode violent memories with neutral or even positive tags associated with excitement or power. The Joker isn't repressing these memories. He's celebrating them. When Silent Hill shows him his victims, it's not a haunting, it's a reunion tour. Currently, his survival probability is holding steady, but we are beginning to see a shift in the environment. The town is becoming frustrated. Since the psychological attack is failing, the architecture itself turns hostile. The walls contract, trying to crush him physically, since they cannot crush him mentally. The Joker dodges falling debris with acrobatic grace, his heart rate steady, his dopamine level spiking from the sheer fun of the chaos. But Silent Hill,
because he loves it. He loves all the BS that comes with the chaos, the agony, anything suffering. Like he loves that. He's a different type of breed, you know. Like you can't psychologically break the Joker. Like it's just not a thing, and or have him fear something. I mean, I'm sure there's been a time in the comics where he's had like just even a smidge of fear for something or about something, but I don't know. Like this dude is 100% the whole way through. Like nothing's gonna stop him. Nothing.
Predator. It realizes that showing the Joker his crimes is useless because he loves his crimes.
Right.
To truly hurt him, the town realizes it needs to stop showing him what he's done and start showing him what he hates.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm ready to get big.
What does the Joker hate?
Saved enough to take my mom on a cruise.
I've never.
What's this?
It's Wells Fargo. They like to celebrate when the customers.
Didn't that last ad said this might be the last ad you ever see? Even though it said might, I was hoping it would be.
Check this guy out. Oh.
The siren wails, signaling the shift to the deepest layer of the otherworld. But instead of the walls dissolving into rotting flesh, they stiffen into gray concrete. The chaotic, nonsensical geometry of the previous acts snaps into a rigid grid. The air becomes stale, recycled, and perfectly temperature controlled. The Joker blinks, looking around for the blood and rust, but finds himself in an endless, sterile corridor that looks suspiciously like a government office building. Silent Hill has stopped trying to be a nightmare and has started being a bureaucracy. Down the hall, a figure approaches. It has the silhouette of a bat. The Joker's eyes light up, his pulse quickens. He calls out, "Batsy!" Finally, someone who knows the steps to the dance. He lines up for a theatrical punch, expecting the satisfying crunch of armor or a counterattack. But the figure doesn't grapple, it doesn't growl. It simply steps to the side with mathematical efficiency, makes a note on a clipboard, and keeps walking. This is the judge.
Okay, yeah, that part would piss him off, like not for Batman not to react to him in the way in which he wants him to.
Manifestation of the Batman stripped of all emotion, heroism, and humanity. It is pure, unadulterated order. Here is where the Joker's psychological armor begins to crack. To understand why, we have to look at the pathology of narcissistic personality disorder combined with his obsession.
It's almost gonna be like the only way for Silent Hill to beat him is honestly just to leave him alone and not even pay him any attention. The Joker feeds off all of that stuff, so whatever he's going up against would have to make it so that he's not there and nobody's paying attention to him, nothing's reacting. Like it would have to be no reactions towards him. Like I don't know. This is so hard how to defeat like the Joker psychologically. Like I don't know.
Joker does not exist in a vacuum. He's defined entirely by his opposition to order. He needs an audience. He needs to acknowledge the punchline.
Right.
Psychologists call this the looking glass self.
Right. Acknowledgement. Okay, so they would have to take away all acknowledgement of him actually being there. So it would have to be like, oh yeah, you're not even there, and not even pay attention to him. And that would probably slowly kill him.
Concept that a person's identity is built through the reactions of others.
Right.
By ignoring him, the town is effectively erasing him. The judge monster refuses to play along. It doesn't validate his chaos with anger or fear. It treats him like a clerical error. The environment tightens the noose. The Joker finds himself trapped in a loop. He isn't fighting for his life. He's waiting in line at the DMV that stretches into infinity. He tries to tell a joke to the mannequin next to him, but it just checks its watch. He tries to set a fire, but the sprinklers activate immediately and extinguish it with disappointing efficiency. The sheer boredom is chemically devastating to his brain. His physiology relies on massive spikes of dopamine and adrenaline derived from novelty and shock.
Dopamine
Without that
fiend.
stimulation, he enters a state of acute withdrawal. For the first time, the smile falters. He isn't sweating from fear. He's twitching from understimulation. He screams at the silent gray Batman, begging for a fight, for a lecture, for anything. But the judge just files another paper. The
Just
town
punch
has
me in
found
the
the
face,
vulnerability.
please.
It isn't guilt and it isn't pain. It's
Do something.
irrelevance. The Joker's sanity, his chaotic identity, starts to slip not because he's scared, but because he is bored. We have to adjust the survival probability significantly here. It drops to 40%. Physically, he is fine. There's no danger to his body.
there's no
But
danger.
the Joker persona is dying of starvation.
Right.
The town is dismantling his ego by denying him the one thing he craves.
So technically, even though they wouldn't be able to like really physically take him out and off him, it would just have to be demolish of his character. Like they would just have to demolish his character. That's it.
More than chaos, attention. If this continues, the Clown Prince will simply fade away. Silent Hill is
Suffer as I have suffered.
What's this, Dota Diablo or something? Why does it look like Diablo?
cornered. He is desperate, erratic, and for the first time, he is vulnerable. He needs an escape, but the only door leads deeper, forcing him to confront the final, terrible truth. The doors fly open, but the Joker doesn't find a final boss waiting with a great knife. He finds a vanity table. In Silent Hill 2, this is where the protagonist confronts the truth, but for the Joker, the truth is a fluid concept. He sits down, expecting to see his own scarred, grinning reflection. Instead, the glass shows him a stranger. The man in the mirror isn't wearing grease paint. He's wearing a sensible beige suit. He looks tired, responsible, and utterly sane. He looks like Jack Napier. This is the town's nuclear option. It is attempting to induce ego death. In Jungian psychology, the shadow represents the repressed aspects of the psyche. For a normal person, the shadow is their capacity for violence or evil. But for the Joker, The shadow is his sanity. The town is projecting the one thing he destroyed to create his identity, the boring, normal man he used to be. The reflection begins to speak, not in a maniacal cackle, but in a calm, measured baritone. It talks about filing taxes. It discusses the benefits of a fixed-rate mortgage. It whispers about the peace of a quiet Sunday morning. Suddenly, the Joker clutches his head, screaming. This isn't a migraine. It's a neurological invasion. The town is attempting a forced cure. Silent Hill is trying to re-regulate his neural pathways, flooding his synapses
So they're trying to cure him so that they can take him out.
with serotonin and dampening the chaotic firing of his dopamine receptors. It is aggressively rewriting his brain chemistry to make him feel regret. The physical pain is excruciating because his biology is physically rejecting the concept of order. The walls of the hotel room begin to close in, painting themselves in soft, calming pastels. The Jack Napier reflection reaches out, trying to pull him into a world of logic and consequences. But here is where the town miscalculates the sheer volatility of the subject. You cannot cure a virus by asking it nicely to behave. The Joker falls to his knees, blood dripping from his nose. He doesn't fight the madness, he doubles down on it. He grabs a shard of glass and scratches the mirror, not to break it, but to carve a smile onto Jack Napier's face. He imposes his will onto the reality of Silent Hill. The sanity signal the town is broadcasting hits the brick wall of his absolute narcissism and shatters. The room shakes violently, the pastel wallpaper peels away, but it doesn't reveal the rusty otherworld. It reveals vibrant, neon purple graffiti. The floor doesn't rot, it turns into a distorted checkerboard. The Joker stands up, straightening his purple tie. He hasn't overcome his demons, he has domesticated them. The town tries to expel him, but it's too late. The fog outside the window begins to shift color. It's no longer the gray of depression. It is a toxic, glowing green. He hasn't escaped Silent Hill. He has just put it under new management.
Right, yeah, like, that's crazy.
So, the final verdict? The Joker survives because he operates completely outside the moral binary that Silent Hill relies on. The town is a machine built to process guilt, but the Joker is a wrench thrown directly into the gears. He is biologically immune to fear and psychologically immune to remorse. The town tried to break him, but it only succeeded in giving him a bigger stage to perform on. The final image isn't a man escaping the fog. It's the Joker sitting on a park bench in the other world, checking his watch, waiting for a new tourist to
But he
wander
came
into
in.
his fun house. If you think another Gotham villain, like Scarecrow or Two-Face, would crack first, let us know in the comments. And remember to subscribe for more breakdowns.
Two-Face is definitely getting his. He's definitely getting his smacked, but Scarecrow like might survive maybe a little bit, but Joker just comes in there and makes it his own town. You know what I mean? Like it sounds about right. That sounds about right. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I just wanted to do a quick one of these. Again, I kind of want to do these daily, so I think I will start uploading these every day. Jokes on the hill, like can't even. Oh man, like how would you take down the Joker like that? That's the hardest. That's the hardest person to even try to break down psychologically. Like it would just never happen. I don't know. This was a good one though. This was a good one.